Okay. So when we kind of started out talking about these different kinds of theories, right, we usually are framing our discussion around why people commit crime, right? So what sort of drives their motivations, and that key question is really persistent for a lot of criminal justice theories. But a different set, right, and something that's equally important, to understand, is why people change color, do not commit crime. Because it's one thing, right? We are all delinquent in some way, right? We know that, all of us probably could have done something to land us in jail if, we were in some bad situations or things didn't pan out in a certain way. We all could have done something that lands it up there. But what prevents us from, all committing crime, right? Because really, there aren't enough police resources. There aren't enough, jails and prisons to lock people up. There's not enough anything that if we all want to become a bunch of vandals, we could, right? It could be like some Mad Max kind of stuff. Sip of coffee. So what do we do then, right? So in this case, then control theories really become in love with this question. It's like why people don't commit crime, and so from a control perspective, then there are a couple things. It views things in a certain way. Yeah, sure. So there must be something perhaps internally that's controlling us, right? So something about ourselves, something that we have our own restriction, something like this. Perhaps there's something about society as well. Could also, maybe some other unknown external factor. So this question ends up becoming like super important from a control perspective, right? Because they make an assumption about human beings. And in this assumption, right, there is sort of like if you look back on human history, like have you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, all the ape species, right, that we're supposed to have evolved from, they really come out. They come out, they're playing around, and what ends up happening then is that if we make this assumption about them that they're evil, that they are this animalistic self, right? So there's this assumption that humans, the human species, is inherently evil or wicked in some way. And so the goal then, the reason why we don't commit crime is that there is some restraint on our natural animalistic, atavistic tendencies. So the goal of this then is that if this is the case, then that we naturally have to want to be act out, we want to destroy people, we want to do whatever, then the goal then is to find ways to teach or restrict behavior that leads to less crime. And so that's kind of what we'll talk about in this video, right? Or in this series of videos is ways, how do we go about, restraining stuff if we have these internal controls? What factors do and do not, restrict behavior? Which ones are better? And how do you create policy in order to achieve that?